Yeah, so really lovely long retirement. And sort of, you call it a retirement, but actually they had no real intention of slowing down. So one of the first things they did was to walk the Alpine Pass route, which is, how far is it? I know it's from one side of Switzerland to the other, but actually
it's from Liechtenstein to Lake Geneva. I can't
like
remember.
700 miles, is it? Something like that. It's huge, isn't it?
Like that,
Over the Alpine, over the Alps, obviously.
Over the high passes.
And so we did the first, Nick and I did the first bit with you, and then you finished off the rest later, didn't you?
yeah.
And yeah, can remember the Shaley Jig, do you remember that? We got to a really high pass, and Mum's never been great with heights. And then there was this shale, not sheer, but very, very steep shale, all the way down to the bottom of the mountain. And the only way we could persuade Mum to get down was basically by singing this most ridiculous song. So she was listening to the song instead of thinking about where she was going. And then you cycled the length of France, you walked the GR5, you did your kind of grand randonnées around the various bits of France and the Auvergne, yeah, and basically decided you were going to up sticks and walk for life, I think. And then there was Jill and Steve's wedding, I think was one of the first things, wasn't it?
Yes.
Planning that and getting ready for it.
Yes.
That's right.
I managed to persuade her to wait
Until after you'd retired.
Yeah.
Although presumably we only were engaged for 6 months, so we
Yeah.
very close timing.
I'd forgotten that, darling.
Yeah. And Grant and Mandy have already mentioned going and living with them and helping them for 6 months. And they came and lived with you for a bit, didn't they, when Steve was... You were having a really tough time, Steve.
I think you did on and off, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course,
Okay.
yeah.
You used to
Yes.
go walking with Steve, didn't you?
Yes, I used to be here most of the time. I think you were often with Joe because Peter was being born.
Troublemaker.
And then, obviously helping us out. And
That was lovely.
yeah.
So we, at invitation or acceptance, we used to go and stay for a month when the new baby was born, so we could run the house and you could look after the babies, and that was really, really lovely.
And I think that the others have picked up just how much, you just were so there for us and so kind of a sense of it's okay, everything's okay, whatever life throws at you is okay, and we can manage it together. And I remember when Abby was expected, and Nick and I had just decided, we were very different then, and we decided that our careers were the most important thing. And neither of us actually wanted to give up our jobs in order to stay at home for a family, so we decided we wouldn't have children. Because actually that went well. Yeah. And so we told Nick's mum and dad, and they said, oh, okay, okay. And we told my mum and dad, and put it this way, Mum was heartbroken.
Oh.
And yes. Tried our hardest to persuade us that was the wrong decision to make, but we were absolutely adamant that we weren't, as far as we were concerned, we were going to save the world.
You were worried that they would regret it, weren't you, Mummy? Is that right?
Yes.
And
We're not saying she's wrong.
No. So we went off that summer. We went off walking with Jim and Steve, and in Snowdon. Do you remember that? And then came back, and now our children do it to us all the time. Well, some of our children do it to us all the time, but at the time it was just like what you did. So we arrived back at Mum and Dad's at something like, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we had to get a train back out again to go into Reading for a month. It was about 6 o'clock that following evening. So we dumped all the stuff out of our rucksacks, and then said to Mum and Dad, we've got to get all this stuff, we have to get just the kids
Great
to
long
keep the
list,
hand.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Great
great
long
long list. So how lovely was this? So they stopped what they were doing, they took us into Tunbridge Wells, we divided up the shopping list, and they all 4 of us went to different shops, met back again in the railway station, dumped it all in the rucksacks and jumped on the train. And now we know where you can get it from. And, so we sent Mum to Boots, her list was Boots, including a sewing kit and a packet of condoms. So Mum said to save space, what I've done is I've emptied the pins into the condom. So, remember that?
I didn't realise this happened. I thought this was just a pop
That's what she said.
Anyway, so we went off on our interrailing, and we were up in
Near Montpellier.
near Montpellier. That's right. And
No, Grenoble. Sorry,
Grenoble, yeah.
Grenoble. Sorry.
and we walked up somewhere up a mountain somewhere, and I woke up in the middle of the night and I had this lump in my stomach like this. And I woke Nick up. It must have been about 4 o'clock, wasn't it, in the morning? And I woke Nick up and said, "What do you think this is?" And I think we both thought this is probably not good at all. So Nick said, "Okay, well, we'll pack up the tent."
And then Abby.
And it was right. And it was right.
You did. You did. No, you didn't. Sorry, let me finish the story. Anyway, so Nick said, "Right, we'll go down to Grenoble. We'll do a pregnancy test. If it's pregnant, then that's fine, and if it's not, we'll just go straight home and we'll sort out what it is." So the only thing I knew about pregnancy tests was you were supposed to do it on the first week of the morning. So we were 4 hours walk from the with no money at all. We had no cash on us, which was again first.
No map, perhaps.
So we walked down to the nearest road, packed up the tent, walked down to the nearest road, and then hitched, because we didn't have any money for a bus, so we hitched down to Grenoble, and arrived at Grenoble about 1 o'clock. I was absolutely
Gosh, that is amazing.
I know, I was really bursting at this point. And I said to the guy in the chemist, "I think I'm having a baby," and you could see the panic on his eyes. It's not mine. No, I've never seen it. And eventually he managed to work out I needed a pregnancy test. So I went and did it, and of course it was positive. So I was a bit in shock at this point. And both really, really happy that it was not anything that I was going to be, it was going to be life-threatening. But also really quite shocked.
That's close to it.
Yeah. So we, and I think this says something about Mum and Dad. The first thing that we said was, "We just got to ring Mum and Dad. We've just got to ring Mum and Dad."
Yeah.
And that was, that was just, I think that says a lot really about who you are. So
the whole pins of the condom ruse work.
So I rang up, and Dad answered the phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And somebody said earlier on, Dad was incredibly patient, and this was only the second time I remember him being cross. And Dad answered the phone and I said, "Dad, I'm pregnant," and he said, "This is not something to joke about." He was very upset. I said, I'm not joking. He said, oh.
You turned dragged the phone.
And Mum didn't say, the only thing she said was, "It'll all be all right." And I just went, "Oh." Well, that's all right then.
It was visible, it was really
It'll all be
visible.
all right, that's okay.
As soon as Joan said that, Lynn told Amina change.
So then after that, it was all fine then. That was going to be a problem. And so I can't remember, we went off and did something, and then he rang me back about an hour later, by which point Mum had wound herself up. And she said, the only thing, I said, "Oh Mum, hi," and she said, "I just want you to know, I really didn't, but..."
Well, I think that's what I thought. I thought that they were really out to tease Joe. You couldn't possibly be pregnant. Oh.
Miracle baby. But I think, and that kind of sense, and it'll all be all right. Just absolutely for us, for the Trainer family, and I think for all of us really, has been just the bedrock of our family lives. Actually, that kind of sense of actually you've got Mum and Dad behind us, and it'll all be all right. And now there's a sense, as you're needing more help, of we've got each other behind us, and it'll all be all right. Just such a strong sense of that kind of foundation to ourselves, really, for each other, and that you've provided for us. I can remember just such great wisdom that you've given us really over the years. And I can remember when I had to go back to work after Abby was born, and I was not coping at all. I couldn't bear it. I cried all the way to school. I discovered every place in the school you could cry without anybody knowing about it. I cried all the way home, and I just wasn't coping at all. And eventually we said to Mum and Dad, I can't do this. Can we move back in with you? And you were so sensible, and you went away and you thought about it, and you came back and you said, no, I think we need to cope. And it's about the only time I've ever remember you saying, no, you know, normally we will make it better. But at that point, it was just, no, actually, you need to do this. And it was so wise. And you're absolutely right, completely right. And it just tilted us into a sense of, okay, it'll all be all right. We can do this. Yeah. And my other big memory of that time was, and it's really trendy now, isn't it? This paying it forward. Have you heard of it? Kind of as a real buzz thing. And you probably don't even know what it means. But,
Probably.
And after, so we had Abby, and then I had a maternity leave because Nick was trying to do his PhD, and then in order for Nick to finish off his PhD, and also because I wanted them quite close together, we had Eden, with the thought that would give me another year. So we saved as much as we could so we could have as long maternity leave. And then after we had Eden, really you couldn't, with 2 children, you couldn't do any work, could you really? Even though you were coming down and spending 2 or 3 days a week, I think, looking after the children while Nick was trying to finish off, but you really weren't making any progress on it. So in the end we decided, okay, we're going to give it a year. I will save as much as I can. We'll save as much as we can. We'll give it a year. And if you don't finish in the year, then you haven't finished, but you've got a year to finish. And so we worked out our really careful budgeting, and we were quite a few thousand short, I think, for the year. And we went to Mum and Dad and said, you know, this is what we think we're going to have to do because there's no way Nick's going to be able to finish otherwise. And would you be able to lend us quite a few thousand, I think. And you said, well, you went away and you came back and said, well, actually, what we think we'll do is we will give you this money on the condition that when you are in the position to do likewise, you will do the same for someone else. And for us, that's been almost our stock position that, when people have needed something from us, whether it's been,
a boiler. Remember the boiler?
Yeah. Leslie.
Remember the other day somebody we gave money to the boiler.
Yeah, who didn't have any central heating.
And that was
in their
because
house.
of what?
Yeah,
Set up.
and whatever it's been a kind of giving to someone and saying, don't pay us back, but just do the same for somebody else when you're in an opportunity to do it. It's just such a love, and that's called paying it forward, Dad. It's now quite trendy to do that. And then, of course, there's grandchildren's holidays, which they will all remember.
Jeez, yeah, amazing.
And going to Sandy Balls.
Yes.
Oh,
Remember that? Sandy Ball's pen.
And the cycle holidays.
The cycle holidays, yeah.
Holidays.
Yeah.
Explain the background that you were training
Wait, I think it began before that, but I think you used to take them anyway. Did you? But yes,
You took us
when I
for
was
years
training.
and years and years and years and years.
and
Yeah.
Jill came with Peter and Katie, didn't you?
Yeah, sometimes, but did you used to come without? Just Peter and Katie used to come sometimes.
And
Yeah.
Ruby and Jenny and Michael came to them. You went to the cycling.
You went to the cycling.
Cycle one was the one
Yeah.
that sticks to my head.
Grant joined us cycling.
Was
Definitely
I?
on the cycling. Definitely.
I
on the
think
cycling.
I was on
Because
a.
that was the time Pete made us laugh so much.
Oh,
he
yeah.
got kicked out of the because
Right.
Grandma was laughing so loud he nearly got kicked out of the youth hostel. Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
And then when you can't stop laughing.
We got kicked out of the restaurant, yeah.
Definitely
He was
there for
so
that.
funny.
Definitely
What's
there
that?
for
Yeah.
Your dad had to tell us
That was
twice,
the
Grandma. They had to
the
tell us twice to be
psychosomatic
quiet.
hamster.
The psychosexual
The
hamster.
psychosexual
Poor
hamster.
Dax.
Oh my god.
So weird.
What was that?
Borrowed tax. I can't remember what it was about. He was just pretending to be a German psychiatrist, and I have no idea why, but it was the funniest thing that ever happened.
I know it was. It was.
We'll get him to do it
You
later.
know, it's because it was the fact that he was a German psychologist, and someone was a hamster and
Oh.
liked having sex. Sorry, buddy. Liked having sex with poles.
Yes.
Like poles. And his recommendation was pole tax, like pins. And Grandma honestly got us nearly kicked out of the
Yeah,
hostel.
you were
She
crying.
was crying with laughter at this thing.
I don't remember that
Oh,
exactly.
it was
Oh, it
so
was
funny.
funny.
Yeah, that's-
So
yeah.
funny.
I remember it because every time Peter made a comment, we all roared with laughter, and the warden came over and said, "It's lovely that you're."